Alright, hello and welcome to another Slay the Spire video. So today is my first win on Regent. He was the last of the characters that I was able to get a win on. So just kind of wanted to walk through the game of this. I am new to making these edited videos, so if you guys could please leave a like, comment, letting me know, kind of giving feedback. I'm open to suggestions as trying to get used to it, but in the beginning, it's pretty self-explanatory, so not much to talk about. I don't remember what card we get here. Oh, okay. So yeah, immediately I go for a blue mana generation build. That's kind of the safest build that I felt when playing with Regent. So early on, that's what I ended up going for, is just generate blue mana. I tend to just feel safer with that than something like a Forge or a card generation build. And you didn't see anything that adds debris or anything like that, so we didn't have that as an starting option. Not to say we couldn't go into it. And so I see a Vigor card here, and I got that from the last co-op run I played. And so I was like, why not give it a try? And then we get an early Stone Sword, which I'm not a big fan of Stone Sword, but I figured with it this early, why not grab it? We can definitely get some elites going, which is almost the downfall of the run, is the Stone Sword that we pick up. But so clearly here we're doing some blue mana generation. Vigor is what I'm hoping to get done. And so we just need a kind of payoff right now. We don't have anything that benefits from the blue mana we're generating or the Vigor that we're generating. So that's what we're going to be looking for in the next couple of rewards, is something that can really benefit from that payoff. I don't recall if we end up finding it here. I think we do. Yeah. So we find Radiate, which is the big payoff. So it deals 3 damage to all enemies for each blue mana you generated. So if you pull it on your first turn, your relic counts as having given you 3. So you can see we were able to do that. Radiate and deal 18 damage on turn 1. If we could have added Vigor to that, we could have, I guess you, here. We were damaged down, but it only ended up being 3. But I have had issues with these guys in the past. I had a really bad streak, actually, where they were constantly stealing my gold, which was really rude. We get another Vigor card here, and essentially this is the basis of the run, is those 2 Vigor cards, Terraforming, and the one that gives block as well. I think I end up playing safe here and going for a rest. But those 2 cards end up being the basis, plus Radiate. We get some more cards later on that have multi-hit, but Radiate is really the main thing we have going. And the problem we will run into here is we don't find any blue mana generators for a while, which is obviously really bad for Radiate, and you'll kind of see it here, is we have Radiate in hand, we just didn't generate any blue mana. So it makes these fights, which should be fairly easy, turn into a bit of a slog. So, I mean, not that this boss is necessarily easy, but especially early on it can be a bit of a challenge. We finally actually get to Radiate here, and that does a good chunk of damage, but we take a lot of damage in return. So, just a little bit of a give and take. I think we were able to finish it off. And Vambrace actually saves us like a lot in this run. It's a huge saver. Doubling the first block that you get every turn, especially when one of the good Vigor cards is a block plus Vigor. So normally here I would gain max HP. I love to gain max HP because At campfires, your healing is based off max HP, so I normally will burn a lot of health there. But since we have Stone Sword, I figured it wasn't the best idea. I also wanted to fight this elite to get a second pick on the Stone Sword. So this fight is also a very big slog, but that's kind of the nature of this boss. It can't deal more than 15 damage in a turn, and we don't have something like Doom that kind of circumvents that 15 damage cap. So it's just a very slow, methodical grind, unfortunately. And we actually get kind of unlucky here. As you can see, he's at 17 health. We can only deal 15, so that means we have to wait at least 2 more turns, which is very unfortunate, which means we actually end up taking a decent amount of damage here. Just not ideal, but at the end of the day, not too bad. We get an upgrade, and our upgrade gets hit onto Radiate, which is huge. Very big hit. It means we go from 3 to 4, which is only 1 point, but it hits multiple times, so those instances definitely add up later on. And then this has to be my least favorite boss fight. I don't know if this was the boss fight I had in the last video or not, but I hate this boss. I don't know if it's a skill issue or something, but I feel like this boss is an absolute run killer for me. I, a lot of the times, don't have DPS that's fast enough to kill him before his explosion just deals 70 damage, and it's like, cool, I can't do anything about that. So I have noticed that I have some issues, so I do burn a free card potion just to try and push a little further. I think I was looking for a card that generated blue mana to kind of bump up the Radiate. I do end up getting a free plating though, which is really nice and helps out a lot to prevent us from just stoking way too much damage. Oh, right, and we get Shining Strike, which just gives blue mana and goes back on top, which also helps a lot for the Radiate. If only that was a card I actually had. We actually don't find that card. I don't even know if I have that card unlocked, honestly. I might not have it unlocked, and we just got lucky that I found it. But we do end up easily taking him out. I don't even think we took any damage this fight, actually, which is, like I said, very unprecedented for me. And then we just kind of let everything go away. It doesn't matter what we do here. We're on Ascension 1, so we get full healed anyway, so it's pretty irrelevant. Here, there's nothing really that I like, so I take Neutron Aegis, just having plating, and we generate a lot of blue mana anyway, so we have enough that we can use it occasionally, since Radiate doesn't even cost the blue mana. We get Pale. I'm kind of annoyed with this one, honestly, because I know that Pale Skin is something that we could have gotten, which would be really nice. I take the Tears. Essentially, if I skip 1 mana on the first turn, I then get 4 mana for the rest of the turns. Because if I ever max spend, I lose it. But you also have that kind of safety valve of if you need 1 extra energy to get a kill or something, you have it. So essentially, I'm playing the game with 4 energy from now on, which is nice. It won't be nice, though, if this guy takes my Devastate. That would be pretty devastating. But luckily, we are able to stun him on the final turn and then kill him. And we get to keep our Devastate. And then we find Royal Gamble, which is amazing for the run. You pay 5 blue to get 9 blue. So and it has Retain. The Retain, I think, is the key. So if we ever pull Radiate and we have Final Gamble and we can play Final Gamble, our Radiate will hit 9 times. So it's 45 damage to all enemies, which is, you know, just very good. The problem, once again, is we don't have a lot of blue mana generation. So we don't have a way to ever really play it right now, but the concept is there. We just need to find some cards that generate the blue mana for Royal Gamble. And this fight actually turns into quite a slog because I don't have any way to generate blue mana. And then when I do, I would rather use it on other things like Falling Star. So we actually take a lot of damage here for what's the first combat of Act 2. Take 30 damage. It's not great. Here we take Guiding Star, just a way to draw more cards. The idea was if we take Guiding Star, we can have a chance of pulling some blue mana generating cards while we have Radiate in hand. And this fight almost turns into a run killer. I think I made a mistake. I should have attacked the middle guy here, but instead I end up attacking the back guy. And you'll see it gets very dicey very quickly, which is quite unfortunate. I didn't really want to use that card because, right, that's my Vigor, which is why that attack did 16, so I would have rather been able to save it. I don't really have a choice. So we kill the back guy, and right, now this middle guy is just hitting us for 18 repeatedly because he has that strength up. So I think I should have attacked the middle guy, and that's where a lot of this fight goes wrong. And you can see I'm very frustrated because if I devastate that back guy, he lives on 1 health, and it's very annoying. So we aren't able to block here because we didn't pull any block cards. So we're sitting at 6 health, which is, you know, pretty great. That's what you love to see, right? So we're not even halfway through. We have 7 health because of the cheese wheel. And my pathing was to go through 2 elites. So now I need to change my pathing to not go through 2 elites. And we find the feather. I forget what it's called. Ornamental feather. Basically, whenever you enter a rest site, you heal. And then we also get 7 stars, which is a 2/7 that deals 7 damage 7 times. So it's 49, another card that's beneficial for the Vigor. But because we bought the feather, when we enter that rest site, we're able to heal 40, which is amazing. And that brings us back a little bit. And so this fight isn't too bad. We actually get to utilize some of the other multi-hit cards. 7 stars. Once again, the issue we're still running into is we aren't generating any blue mana. And that's something I hope to alleviate here in the near future. Just we're getting very unlucky with cards. But the potential is here, right? You just watched a Radiate hit for 81 damage because of Final Gambit. We do get another blue mana generator there, which helps a lot. And I think Bronze Scales has to just be one of my favorite relics in the game. Just getting 3 thorns all the time is so good, especially with how like block centric you have to play a lot of the time in this game. And this has to be just my least favorite enemy in the game. The Tender is so frustrating, especially for my build, where the whole point is generate a bunch of blue mana in a single turn, have to play a lot of cards, and then deal a bunch of damage because of Vigor, but you're getting -1s a whole bunch from it. It does not feel good. So we do once again take a whole bunch of damage, go down to 7 health. So we get a star potion there, which is huge, and then we get Hidden Cache. So we get we get a mana generation potion and probably the best blue mana generating spell within reason. And we have a great setup here, which is why I don't see it get fast forward. Just turn 1 insta kill because we had Radiate in hand. So the potential with the deck is definitely there. We just have to kind of piece it all together still. And of course we're resting, so we're above half health again. We just need to get lucky with these next couple, with this next singular fight. And here we get a crazy pull on the question mark. We get to put Sharp on Radiate, so now it deals 6 every single time, so huge damage potential that we have there. And that event happening and allowing us to be able to do that will actually probably be the reason we win this run later on with a combination we get. But yeah, so this frog isn't too much of a problem either. However, I was worried for the final boss here, because this is another boss I tend to have problems with. We end up taking royalties there, nothing really good in that one, but royalties lets us get some more money that we can use for shops in Act 3, so I figured, why not? So this boss I historically have a lot of issues with, but my hope is that we're able to get everything set up with those star potions and drawing cards that we'll be able to like force a radiate into final gambit. Essentially is kind of the idea I had going into this. And so we're just being patient, we're waiting till we pull the radiate, and then in the meantime we're just trying to set up some vigor and get some damage down on the claws that are attacking. And so I see that I got radiate, and I see that that rocket claw is going off, so I'm going to try to kill this entire crab before that rocket goes off. So I popped the blue star potion, so we generated 3 already this turn. We're going to pop a hidden cache, generate another. I already generated another one on the previous turn, and Royal Gambit's my last card. So we drink the last potion to draw 3 more cards. We Royal Gambit. And then we also have Terraforming and Patter, so we can generate a bunch of Vigor as well. So we can generate 9 Vigor. So we do that, and we're generating 12. We're dealing 12 damage 14 times. So it's 168 damage, which hits both hands, and as kills the crab. So that's the potential. We just need a lot more consistency, and Genesis is exactly that. So now every turn we're generating 2 blue mana, so our Radiate will just always work. We don't have to worry about it maybe not working. And we get Jeweled Mask from Vaku. So Jeweled Mask will give us one of our powers to play for free in our hand. And a lot of the time he gives us royalties, which is not ideal. We'll take the free 30 gold. Just not what we're looking for. But it also just makes our hand a little bit more consistent as well, which is nice. You know, just 1 card off the top. Deck thinning is always valuable. We take Reflect here. We don't have a lot of great blocking cards, and we're generating a lot of blue mana at this point. So it's a good block and a little bit of chip damage as well. There was no need to play it there because he wasn't attacking, so he hasn't done anything. And this fight also does take a little bit of time. Guy does a lot of damage. I think we do Falling Star here, just the damage he deals. And it's just playing it safely. Nothing more you can do. We Devastate there, and then I do play this block potion because I don't want to take too much damage, even though I know that he'll kill himself from thorns. Just wanted to play it safe rather than take unnecessary damage. We take another Celestial Might there. Just trying to get some more cards other than a Radiate that can deal multiple instances of damage and take benefit of Vigor. We also got our Aegis for free, so we got 8 plating for free, which is very nice. And I didn't know this about this fight, and if I would have, I might have played differently. I don't really know if I had the opportunity to at any point. I didn't know that if you play multi-hit attacks, if one of the multi-hits would kill, the next multi-hit will wait until an enemy spawns in to get the kill. And you'll see it here with Radiate. It stops, the bot spawns in, and then it keeps attacking that next spawned in bot. I didn't know that. I thought I was just wasting it. We get Monologue here. Monologue's an interesting card for this because it functions similarly to Vigor. And this is the run winner right here. Mystic Lighter, enchanted attacks deal 9 extra damage. So if you remember, we got Sharp on our Radiate. So now our Radiate is dealing 15 damage base before Vigor, plus and for the amount of times that we deal or generate blue mana. And then we just remove a strike for some extra consistency. And I thought you saw it here. So if we have Genesis, so you will likely see a Radiate here unless I win this fight before a Radiate generates, but I don't think I do. I think I just block here as much as I can. So we lose some health here. But yeah. 16 times 2, so just 32 damage casually. So the Mystic Lighter makes it so easy. I take Stardust here instead of Radiate because the second Radiate doesn't do too much, and we're generating, like I said, so much blue mana that the extra hits from Stardust compared to Radiate could be better. So Stardust can sometimes hit like 11 times, whereas Radiate might not be able to do that, or we can Radiate into a Stardust. So I thought that combo was something that could be beneficial. And like you see there, I think that's 36 free damage. I didn't like how much damage I was taking, so I'm looking at pathing there, which is why you see me pull up the map. And we actually skipped because I thought it would be better to not take a card than to take another Celestial Might. We get to upgrade 2 cards. Tragically, it hits 2 defense. Really not what we wanted to see there. And then we get a dummy fight. I took the 150 fight because I did the 300 before, and I forgot that you only get 3 turns for it. And that's why you see me check right there. And I'm not a huge fan of this fight. However, I definitely regret not going for the 300 one because I think we could have done the 300 one and got a relic. I think we did have enough damage in the tank. I just didn't know if we would hit the combo. But in hindsight, I think we should. We upgrade a Patter because it gives +1 Vigor and +3 block. So it's a really good value upgrade for a 1 energy spell, I think. We get our plating up early, which is good because this guy just hits like a truck. So do as much as we can to just mitigate the damage. I think we take Genesis here, and we do both. Oh yeah, I was doing the math on which one was more for the bigger procs. Fortunately, there's not too much we can do. Yeah, so I did the weaken there, and then I forgot that he's an artifact, so I can't reduce the damage. So that was just a waste of 2 blue mana. Luckily, like I said, we're generating so much now that it doesn't matter. But definitely a big misplay there that probably shouldn't have done. I mean, probably would have done it anyway. But there's definitely a better play. You can see we have 12 blue mana, so if we had Stardust in hand, like, we could easily do that. Not to mention that we had Royal Gambit as well, so we could have had even more blue mana. Ripple Basin, I didn't think would ever really become relevant, but I think it does actually pop a couple times. And then we hit the crazy combo here as well with Radiate. So we get Radiate in starting hand, and then we have hitting cash, so we hit cash, and then it's 16 4 times, so it's 64 damage. None of these enemies have more than 60 health because of the popper. Actually, the popper chip did enough to let us be able to kill there. We take Convergence. It lets us retain hand, which is the main reason that we take it. And we just get rid of one of the skill potions. We have to upgrade another Vigor spell. So very happy with that trade. And then we just rest going into the final boss. And this final boss is probably the best final boss for us because there's 2 of them. So that lets our Radiate be very beneficial in hitting both enemies at the same time. So that's kind of what I'm fishing for here. I'm looking to see if I can get Radiate in hand and generate a bunch of blue mana at the same time. Which is why you see me do a draw 3 into the draw 2. Because what we really don't want is we don't want Radiate to be a locked card, because that can get really awkward. We get really lucky and we get a free card that's a free Prophesize. And I see that I have Stardust in hand, and I could do a Royal Gambit into Stardust, but I don't, and I play for the Radiate on a future turn, because if we pull Radiate next turn, the Cash will have generated 4, Genesis will have generated 2, so we would have generated 6 blue mana, and we pull the Radiate, so we Royal Gambit at some point, and we deal 16 damage 17 times. And then we have Stardust to deal 18 damage. No, we did 7 stars because that was more damage. And then we Stardust the rest. So you can see in one turn we dealt 375 damage or something to the Queen. And the Queen kills herself due to our Thorns. And we're able to clean up the run. So that was my first run on Regent that I won, obviously. But also the first run that I was able to run a Vigor build. So I was very happy with that. But if you guys enjoy, please leave a like, comment, letting me know if you have any tweaks or anything like that. If you want to see more, consider subscribing and hyping it. I'll see you guys in the next one.